function of that part, the biological function of that part will give you the symptoms that will develop over there. So like the knees is considered a performance conflict. The ankles cannot dance to the tune conflict. The hip is the load-bearing conflict. So whatever in the mental world would relate to that organ would be affected. I hope I'm making sense. Yes. So this is the case of a lady, a 70-year-old lady, and she had all the typical signs and symptoms of osteoarthritis, as you can see. And then the physical generals, the knee examination, the constitution. I'll tell you why we have put it in this way now. So you can see the symptoms over there, and then the conflicts that were related, as you see. I have to go in 2 minutes to one very important thing I want to take you to. I hope you have all got this. The case conflict that she went through. Another thing I had introduced for the first time in Dubai, in our UAE seminar, was the rule of 7. And I have suggested, and I'm working on it for the last 3 to 4 years, that we select 7 rubrics. 2 rubrics related to the GNM. So the conflict the person has gone through, you ask him, what is your sensation to that conflict? What is your feeling when you think of that conflict? What goes on in your, what is the one word you would use? So I take, and every disease has a conflict by itself. Dr. Hammer says there are no metastases. Dr. Hammer says every cancer is a new cancer. It is a result of another conflict. So you take 2 GNM conflicts, sensation to it. You take 2 mental or physical general symptoms. You take 2 particulars about the disease according to Haring's law of development of disease. So the symptoms that have come the most latest, take those 2 symptoms, and 1 PQRS or a modality which is very strong. So we take 7 symptoms, and based on that I've called this the rule of 7. But the 2 GNM symptoms you should be able to identify well. And they are so well identified when you get into practice. You are able to be an astrologer and hold the hand of the patient and say, what is your anger conflict? Or if it is a breast cancer, you say, why are you worried about your children? Or if it is the right side, you can say, what is the problem with your partner, or with your father, or with your... So this is a rule of laterality that I'm going to leave at this. And our patient responded very well. Thank you very much. Week 7, I've already said, and that's the last slide I leave for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Motiwala, for bringing in the scientific and the research perspective, as well as a new methodology of GNM medicine.